सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्. In this chapter 15, titled Purushottama Praapti Yogam, Paramatma is explaining his higher nature as well as the lower nature. He said he is pervading in all things, in all living beings, and the Jada Vastu he is pervading in the form of existence. By lending his existence, he is there in the Jada Vastu. For Chaitana Vastu, he is lending his Chaitanatvam, and that's how these beings are sentient. This is clearly and distinctly explained from Slokas 7 up to 11, that is outside Jiva, how he is pervading, and inside Jiva, how he is pervading, from 12 up to 15. His all-pervasive nature is explained in these slokas. Now he is concluding in sloka 16 and 17, 18. So let us see the sloka number 16. Dvavimau purushau loke ksharascha evacha ksharas sarvani bhutani kutastokshara utyate. Ksharahacha, the perishable, evacha aksharaha, and the imperishable. Imo, these are dvau purushau, two purushas, loke, in the world. Ksharaha, the perishable, sarvani bhutani, in the form of all beings. Aksharaha, the imperishable, is said to be Uchyate Kutastaha, the deceptive Maya. Asmin loke Ksharaha Aksharaha cha eva imau dvau Purushaha staha. Sarvani bhutani Ksharaha Kutastaha cha Aksharaha Uchyate. The perishable and imperishable. These are two Purushas in the world. Perishable is in the form of all beings. The imperishable is said to be the deceptive Maya. So, Paramatma is there in both perishable objects and imperishable objects. And these two are called technically Purushas. The perishable one is in the form of beings, the pranikoti. The imperishable is in the form of Maya, avyaktam. So, Paramatma explains his presence in the world as two Purushas, Kshara, Akshara. Kshara is perishable living beings. Akshara is the Maya, imperishable. Loke dvau purushau imau. In the very universe, Paramatma is present in two forms, and it is mentioned as Purushas. Two Purushas, technically. The third form is also there. The third Purusha, which is higher nature, is also he is going to mention, but here he is not mentioning right now. And what are the names of these two Purushas who are present in this very universe? Paramatma titled them as Ksharaha cha, Aksharaha evacha. The names of these two Purushas are Kshara and Akshara. Who are they? Bhagavan is defining Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. Kshara sarvani bhutani, all things and all living beings. Whatever you experience, whatever is cognizable, whatever is seen and experienced, that is all Kshara Purusha. We experience 5 different worlds. With eyes we see all forms and colors. With ears we see all sounds. With nose we will experience all odors. With tongue we will experience all taste. With skin we will experience all touches. So 5 different worlds are being experienced by me day in and day out. All these experiences are in the form of things, are in the form of living beings, pranikoti. So the entire thing Paramatma is categorizing as a Kshara Purusha. All things and living beings are called Kshara Purusha. Whichever is visible, Bhuta Prapancham, Sthula Sariram, all these things, Vishaya Vastus, these are all called material principle. So the entire visible Jagat is called Kshara Purusha. The first category and first type of Purusha is defined by Paramatma. Second category, Kotasto Kshara Uchyate. Kotastha means unmanifest, avyakta, a thing which is not manifest. This word Kotastha is a confusing word. It is already, we have encountered this word in chapter 8 and 12. It is used in different contexts, in different meanings. It is used with different meanings in different situations. There, in chapter 8 and 12, the meaning was different. Here, Kotastha means which is not manifest. Avyakta Padardham, unmanifest thing. Otherwise called Maya Tattva. And Kotastha means permanent also. Why Paramatma said Maya is permanent? It is relatively permanent. Because of the relative permanency, he said that Akshara Purusha is this avyakta form, unmanifest form of the Maya. So he introduced 2 types of Purushas, Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. And he is going to introduce one more Purusha called Uttama Purusha in the coming sloka. So we have Jiva Jagat Ishvara, Triputi. So all Triputi is a Kshara Purusha. Jiva is Kshara Purusha, Jagat is Kshara Purusha, and Ishvara with name and form. Like we call Krishna, Rama, and Devi, all these names we attribute with name and form. So such God is a Kshara Purusha. So Akshara Purusha is Maya Tattva. Now he is going to define one more Purusha which is higher than, which is superior to both these Purushas, which is given in the Sloka 17. Uttamah Purushastvanyah Paramatmyetyudahrutaha Ye lokatrayamavisya Bhibatyavyaya Ishvara. Anyaha too, different from these, Uttama Purusha is the supreme Purusha. Udahrutaha iti, said to be Paramatma, the supreme self. Yaha avisya, which pervades, and Bhibhati, sustains. Lokatrayam, these 3 words. Avyayaha Ishvara, it is the imperishable Lord. Uttama Purushaha tu Anyaha asti. Saha Param Atma iti. Udahrutaha yaha avyayaha Iswaraha lokatrayam avisya tat bibharti. Different from this is Supreme Purusha. Different from these means what? Different from Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. It is said to be the Supreme Self, which pervades, sustains the three worlds. It is imperishable Lord. This imperishable word is absolutely imperishable, not relatively imperishable like Maya. Tu anyaha. Kshara Purushaha tu anyaha. There is another Purusha who is different from Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. That is manifest and unmanifest matter is there. Manifest matter is called Kshara Purusha. Unmanifest form is called Akshara Purusha. There is yet another Purusha who is different from both these two Purushas, the manifest world and unmanifest world. That is Chaitanya Tattva. How can you assure that Chaitanya Tattva is different from Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha? It is simple, because both manifest and unmanifest worlds are of material in nature. They are matter principle. Because they are matter principle, they cannot have sentiency, they cannot have chetanatvam, they cannot have chaitanyam on their own. So, tu anyaha means this Uttama Purusha is totally different from this Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. Now we have to give a title for this Purusha. So Paramatma is saying Uttama Purushaha. Uttama Purushaha. This is the name given by Paramatma. This Uttama Purusha Lakshanas we have seen in the introduction. So we have to borrow from the introduction and recall here. Uttama Purusha is having Chetana Tattvam, Nirgunatvam, Nirvikaratvam, Nirvikalpatvam and Satyam. Uttama Purusha is sentient, the consciousness principle. And there are no attributes for Uttama Purusha. Nirvikaratvam, Uttama Purusha is not subject to any modifications. Nirvikalpam, it cannot be divided into parts. And it is Satyam, Trikalepi Tishtati. It is present in all three times. So, here we will remember the word Satyam. Otherwise, we can think that there are three different principles. What are the three different principles? Kshara Purusha is one principle, Akshara Purusha is another principle, Uttama Purusha is the third principle. So there is a danger that we may mistake that there are three principles. Advaitam proposes only one principle, that is Ekameva Advitiyam. Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha, Uttama Purusha, though we call it with three different names, Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha, they are of matter principle, they are Sagunatvam, Sagunatattvam, Savikaram, Savikalpam and Midya. Both Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. That means manifest and unmanifest worlds. When we say they are Midya, Kshara Purusha comes under Midya and Akshara Purusha, so-called Maya, is also under Midya. So that means they cannot have the existence on their own. They cannot survive without borrowing existence from the Uttama Purusha, which is the consciousness principle. which is the Chaitanya Tattva. So we cannot take them as Satya Vastu. So as reality, or as an absolute reality, there is only one Tattvam, Satya Tattvam, that is Uttama Purusha. Paramatmya Tyudahrutaha. This Uttama Purusha, which is called consciousness or Chaitanya, in Upanishads it is called Paramatma. Upadrashtanumantacha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha Paramatmeti Chapyukto Dehesmin Purushah Paraha. So there also Paramatma. Paramatma is there. That is Krishna Paramatma. And the Paramatma Lakshanam. So we have the matter and we have energy. Matter converts into energy and energy converts into matter, according to science. This is what we understand. That means there is a Vyakta Prapancham and Avyakta Prapancham. Energy cannot be experienced by naked eyes. And energy cannot be seen with the naked eyes. So there is something beyond both these things. That is called Adhishtanam or substratum. That substratum is the Chaitanya Tattvam or Chaitanya or consciousness. That is called Uttama Purusha. Lokatrayam avishya. This Uttama Purusha is pervading all the lokas, all three lokas. Avishya means pervading, or he is the substratum of all the three lokas. Lokatrayam can be divided into two. What is that? Kshara and Akshara Purusha. Kshara and Akshara Purusha can be divided into Lokatrayam. So Bhagavan is the substratum. Bhagavan is the Adhishtanam for both Kshara and Akshara Purusha. So taking the status of Adhishtanam, what this Uttama Purusha is doing, what is the function of Uttama Purusha, is the natural question or natural doubt anyone will get. So for that Paramatma saying Bhibharti. Bhibharti means he is Sthiti Karta. He sustains this entire world. Gold pervades the ornament and gold lends existence to the ornament. Without gold, you cannot imagine the ornament. And gold sustains the ornament. Similarly, the wood pervades the furniture. Wood pervades the chair, wooden chair, and lends the existence to the chair. Water pervades the wave and lends the existence to the wave. In the same way, Uttama Purusha pervades both Kshara and Akshara Purusha and lends the existence to both Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. As we emphasize, without gold there is no ornament, without wood there is no furniture, without water there is no wave. In the same way, without Uttama Purusha, you cannot think of Kshara and Akshara Purusha. So, the consciousness principle is the in thing. The consciousness principle is the substratum. And this gives existence to both matter and energy. The essence of Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha is Chaitanya. So, without Chaitanya Tattvam, you cannot imagine the presence of these two. Without Chaitanya Tattvam, Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha cannot exist. Avyayaha, The changing material is pervaded by Chaitanya. Though Chaitanya pervades the changing material, Chaitanya or consciousness do not undergo any change. Just as you see on the screen, lot of things take place, lot of roles come and go on the cine screen. Cars run and waterfalls will be shown on the screen, but nothing happens to the screen. Screen will not run with the car. Waterfalls will not wet the screen. So, if a screen also runs with the car, you cannot see the car. One must be stationary. One must be without any movement, without any modification. So, avyayaha. Avyayaha means without any change, without any modification. So, Uttama Purusha is not subject to any modification. Nirvikaraha. Without any vikaram. Vikaram means modification in Sanskrit. Ishvaraha is another word used by Paramatma. Ishvaraha means overlordship. He is Prabhu for this Akshara Purusha and Kshara Purusha. He is not a slave to Kshara and Akshara Purusha. He is a Prabhu for material principle and not a slave to material principle. Means he is independent. Both Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha are dependent on Uttama Purusha. Whatever happens to the material, that will not influence the consciousness. Material keeps changing. Kshara Purusha is a changing principle, is subject to all types of modifications. Especially when you look at Jiva, subject to vikaras, asti, jayate, vardhate, viparanamate, apachiyate, vinasyati, iti shadvikaravat. But all these vikaras, all these modifications are not to the Ishvara, the consciousness principle. Here we are using the word Ishvara for higher nature, for Uttama Purusha. The same word Ishvara can be used for Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha also. It depends on the context. So, consciousness pervades the material. Whatever be the changes that happens in the matter, it is not carried to consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is asangam, asangaha. It is not attached to the Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. It is not tainted by Kshara and Akshara Purusha. So, if you look at this world, there will be a lot of changes. You get natural calamities and earthquakes, tsunamis, and whatnot. Consciousness will not undergo any change, even though the earthquakes happens with a very high Richter scale. And all these Navagrahas will not influence the consciousness, because consciousness is beyond Kshara and Akshara Purusha. Achedyoyam, Adahyoyam, Akledyo, Asoshya evacha. So this is what Paramatma already mentioned in Sloka 24 in chapter 2. So, is continuing in the same tone. Sloka 18. Yasmat charamati toham aksharaadapi chottamaha atosmi loke vede cha pradita purushottamaha. Yasmat, since aham atitaha, I am beyond Kshara. Kshara means Kshara Purushaha api. I am beyond Kshara Purusha. Cha Uttama. Uttamaha means beyond. Aksharat, Akshara Purusha. Even beyond the Akshara Purusha. Ataha. Therefore, Asmi Praditaha. I am well known. Loke in the world. Cha Vede and in the Vedas as Purushottama. Because I am beyond the Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha, I am popularly known as Purushottama. Yasmat aham ksharam atitaha aksharat apicha uttamaha asmi ataha aham loke vede cha purushottamaha iti praditaha asmi. Since I am beyond Kshara Purusha and beyond Akshara Purusha, therefore I am well known in the world, in Vedas, as Purushottama. Ksharam Atitaha. So, this Uttama Purusha is Chetana Tattvam, which is beyond Kshara Purusha. Kshara Purusha means manifest world. And he is beyond the manifest world. Aksharat apicha uttamaha. He is beyond Akshara Purusha, Avyakta Prapancham. Therefore, Chaitanya means a kind of, you should not think that Chaitanya is a kind of energy. Chaitanya is a principle. Consciousness is a principle. It is beyond all kinds of energies. Shakti or energy is an unmanifest form of material. Matter in unmanifest form is energy. Therefore, for manifest matter and unmanifest form, Uttama Purusha is different. And it is the substratum of both the manifest world and unmanifest world. In Sanskrit, Uttamaha means above, beyond. Beyond Kshara and Akshara Purusha. Chaitanyam is Sreshtam. Chaitanyam is given a title Uttama Purusha. Ataha. Ataha means therefore. Therefore means what? Because Chaitanyam or consciousness is superior to all. Praditah Purushottama. Chaitanyam is titled as Uttama Purusha. If you reverse this word Uttama Purusha, it is called Purushottama. Loke Vedecha. In the words and also in the scriptures, Vedic scriptures, this is titled as Purushottama. What is it titled? Consciousness is titled as Purushottama. So, here I said consciousness, but Paramatma is playing a trick. Krishna Paramatma is playing a trick. Just see how he plays a trick. He said, this is known as Uttama Purusha. And what is that Uttama Purusha? Aham. I am the Uttama Purusha, he is saying. He is declaring himself as Uttama Purusha. Now, when he is declaring himself as Uttama Purusha, this word I, aham, should be understood properly. Otherwise, you will miss the entire central theme. Whenever he says I, it can be Ekarupa Ishvara, it can be Anekarupa Ishvara, or it can be Arupa Ishvara, the Chaitanya, the absolute truth. So here, which meaning we should take? He said that Uttama Purusha is myself. Now, can we take that Uttama Purusha as Paramatma with name and form, with Krishna Sariram? we cannot take Paramatma with Krishna Sariram as Uttama Purusha or Purushottama because it comes under Kshara Purusha. Even though that avataram is a great avataram, we all pray and revere, but all said and done, it is of a lower nature. Because of the name and form, it comes under Vidya. Though, it is very painful to understand this. Whatever is having name and form is all Midya, including gods. We should know it thoroughly. So, the word Aham cannot be Kshara Purusha. Can we take Aham as Akshara Purusha? Maya. Maya is also Midya. Uttama Purusha, Purushottama is a Satya Vastu, is absolute reality. So Maya Tattvam cannot be taken as Aham. So here we have to take Aham means Nirguna, Nirvikara, Satya, Chetana Tattvam. That Chetana Swarupam is Krishna Paramatma. So with this definition, Paramatma concluded his topic, Purushottama Praapti Yogam, and in 2 more slokas he is giving Palasruti, the advantage or the benefit of knowing this knowledge. This chapter is titled as Purushottama Yogam because in this very chapter, Paramatma declared himself as Uttama Purusha. This gives an idea that out of 3 forms of God, Ekarupa Ishvara, Anekarupa Ishvara, Arupa Ishvara, which is superior. So this will be the general doubt. If you are resorting to Ekarupa Ishvara, Anekarupa Ishvara is superior to Ekarupa Ishvara because Ekarupa Ishvara is located in a place. So, Anekarupa Ishvara is all pervading. You need not travel for Anekarupa Ishvara. The very world itself is Arupa. The very world itself is God. So, it comes under the higher stage. Higher than this, Ekarupa Ishvara and Anekarupa Ishvara, both are Vidya. Because both come under Kshara Purusha. Both are Vidya. Both are subject to modification. Both are Savikar, Sagunatvam. So, both Ekarupa Ishvara and Anekarupa Ishvara borrow their existence from Arupa Ishvara or Purushottama. Therefore, Purushottama is superior one. So ultimately we have to travel towards, ultimately we have to travel. So ultimately we have to travel towards the Purushottama, the Arupa Ishvara. So now Paramatma is giving the benefit of knowing this knowledge in 2 more slokas. We'll see. Sloka number 19. Yo mamevam asammudo janati purushottamam sa sarvavid bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharata. Asammudaha, undeluded. Saha yaha, he who evam janati, thus knows. Mam Purushottamam, me, the Purushottama, Sarvavit is the knower of all. Bhajati Mam, he worships me. Sarvabhavena, wholeheartedly. Bharata, O Arjuna. He Bharata, yaha asammudaha mam Purushottamam evam janati. Saha sarvavit bhutva mam sarvabhavena bhajati. Undeluded, he who thus knows me, the Purushottama is the knower of all. He worships me wholeheartedly, O Arjuna. So here in Slokas 19 and 20, Paramatma is giving Brahma Jnana Phalam. Once he defined Purushottama as the Adhishtanam, as the Nirvikaram and Asanga Tattvam and Satya Tattvam, he is strongly advising every seeker must get the knowledge of Purushottama, must understand Purushottama properly. Because ultimately that Purushottama is yourself. Your higher nature is nothing but Purushottama. Like Krishna Paramatma said, Aham Purushottama. You also must be able to say Aham Purushottama once you acquire this knowledge. Because Chaitanyam alone is there. The consciousness alone is there. So, your higher nature is that Purushottama. So, an intelligent seeker will not be after Ksharapurusha or Aksharapurusha. He should acquire the knowledge of Uttama Purusha. Uttama Purusha means Nirguna Brahma. Only the deluded one are fascinated by the visible world and they think that that is the reality. Jagat Satyam. That's their understanding. Asammudaha, undeluded jnanis, who are not having any kind of moham, who are discriminate, who acquired sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, and who completed karma and upasana and jnana yoga, they try to understand Purushottama. They try to revel on Purushottama, their own higher nature. Purushottama is nothing outside. That is your own higher nature. That's what you have to understand. That's the culmination. So if one does this, if one is in this kind of nishta, what happens? Janati Purushottamam. These sadhakas, they understand Purushottama. The attributes of Purushottama one should never forget. What are the attributes? Chetana Tattvam, Nirguna Tattvam, Nirvikaram, Nirvikalpam, Satyam. Saha Sarvavit Bhajati. So, such people who understand Purushottama, they become Sarvajna. They become omniscient. Because Brahma is all pervading. Brahma is the substratum of all. If you understand Brahma, you understand everything. Eka vijnanena sarva vijnanam bhavati. That's what Mundakopanishad pronounced. If you study Bangle and arrive at the analysis, there is no matter like Bangle. It is all gold. Gold with one name and form is Bangle. Now you need not study chain, you need not study necklace, you need not study ring and all that. So, Eka Vijnanena Sarva Vijnanam Bhavati. So, Purushottama Vijnanena, Purushottama Jnanena Sarva Vidbhavati. Thereafter, also, Jnani prays God. But that prayer is of higher stage. It is on an exalted state. Saha sarva bhavena mam bhajati. So such a jnani will revel in me. He revel with contentment, with a kind of full commitment and dedication in all different ways. So, Shankara Bhagavad Pada is defining that Purushottama is none other than myself. So, when I understand this, my higher nature is Purushottama. My higher nature is consciousness. I am the Purushottama. I am the substratum for Kshara and Akshara Purusha. With that whole and complete knowledge, he prays God. He understands that he is all-pervading consciousness. He is that Atma Chaitanyam. So, such a Jnani Bhakti is called Advaita Bhakti. Therefore, Sarva Bhavena means Advaita Bhavena, Abheda Bhavena, Mam Bhajati. So, with that a feeling of higher nature as his nature, he revels in that very nature. He is in the Nishtha, that Nishtha of Atma, Atma Nishtha. In 7th chapter, we have seen 4 different types of bhaktas, 4 different types of sadhakas who pursue bhakti. Among them, Paramatma declared Jnani Bhakti is superior to all the other 3. Artha Bhakti, Ardharthi Bhakti, Jijñāsa Bhakti, Jnani Bhakti. These are the 4 varieties he mentioned. Among them, Jnani Bhakti is superior. Why? Because he is having that Advaita Bhakti, Abheda Jnana Bhakti. So, in this same tone, Paramatma is concluding this chapter in sloka number 20. Iti guhyatamam shastram idabhuktam maya anagha etad buddhva buddhiman syat kritakrutyascha bharata. Anagha, O Arjuna, O sinless. Iti, thus, idam guhyatamam shastram, the most secret teaching, uktam maya, has been imparted by me. Buddhva etat, having known this, syat buddhiman, one becomes wise. Cha, kritakrutyascha, and fulfilled. Bharata, O Arjuna. He Anaga, iti guhyatamam, idam shastram, maya uktam. He Bharata, etad buddhva jivaha buddhiman kritakrityaha cha syat. O Arjuna, thus this most secret teaching has been imparted by me. Having known this, one becomes wise and fulfilled. O Arjuna, idamuktam shastram uhyatamam. So, this knowledge about Kshara-purusha, Akshara-purusha and Uttama-purusha, they are very sacred and very secretive, because Uttama-purusha is superior to all the Kshara-purusha and Akshara-purusha. So, in this very chapter, we have seen Sarvatmaka Brahma. Sarvatmaka Brahma means Brahma all-pervading. So, Brahma Vidya is Guhyatamam. Guhyatamam means it is the secret of all secrets. So, whatever the knowledge you acquire in the university, whatever be the course you join, they all talk about Kshara Purusha or Akshara Purusha. In Mundakopanishad terminology, this is all Apara Vidya. Only the knowledge about Purushottama is Paravidya. Paravidya is very, very, very rare. That's why this is called Guhyatamam. This is very sacred very rare and secret. Idam maya vuktam anagha. O Arjuna, this rare and precious Vidya I taught you. Why did I teach you? There's only one reason. Because you asked me and you are the superior student. You are the most deserving and superior student. Anagha means you have a very pure mind. Agha means papam. Anagha means paparahitaha, suddha purushaha, who has got chitta suddhi. You have got that clear mind. Etad buddhva, having acquired this knowledge, you have to internalize. How you have to internalize? You should understand I am not this body. I am not the mind. Because this body and mind belongs to Shara Purusha. I am not the causal body. That is Akshara Purusha. Therefore, in Mandukya Upanishad language, if you have to say this, I am not the Pradama Pada, I am not the Dvitiya Pada. Pradama Pada and Dvitiya Pada belongs to Kshara Purusha. I am not the Tritiya Pada, the third Padam, which is Akshara Purusha. That means I am not Tejasa, I am not Vishwa, I am not Prajna. I am the fourth Pada, the Turiyam. So here, Paramatma titled this Turiyam as Uttama Purusha. Same teaching he has given in the 8th chapter, and now he is repeating this in 15th chapter. Etad buddhva. So having acquired this kind of knowledge and internalizing this knowledge and staying in that nishta, buddhiman syat. So having understood and having internalized this knowledge, you become a wise person. What is the advantage of become a wise person? You feel that you are whole and complete. There is no inadequacy in your life. You become Jivan Mukta. Kritak Krutyascha Bharata. So once you acquire this knowledge, you get that Paripurnatvam. Purnatvam. You feel that you are whole and complete. There is nothing lacking in you. There is no inadequacy. Whatever be the knowledge you acquire here in this mundane world, you feel that inadequacy. You get happiness for a very short time, but again that inadequacy will linger. Only in Paravidya you feel that you are whole and complete. So Purushottama Praapti Jnanena Truptihi Bhavati. Atmanyeva Atmanaha Truptihi Bhavati. Having mentioned the phalam, Krishna Paramatma is concluding this chapter. He said, by acquiring this knowledge and by staying in this nishta, you get Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. You feel you are whole and complete. You don't have any kind of inadequacy, and you will enjoy the balance of life, and you are free from the birth-death cycle. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Sastre Sri Krishnarjuna Samvade Purushottama Yogo Nama Panchadasodhyayaha. Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudatyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.